Chapter 15. The reading teacher, this lady with trendy round glasses, bright red lipstick, and bleached out hair with arrow straight bangs, tries to get us to wake up by having us write about what we did on summer break vacation. I think this is her first year teaching because she looks like she could be somebody's older high school sister. Plus, she doesn't have that flattened, perpetually worn out look like a lot of the older teachers do. I have to bum a piece of paper and pencil from a kid sitting next to me. He's got this backpack loaded down with so many notebooks and pencils and crap that he looks like he's hoarding for some school supply apocalypse. I don't even know how he walks with that thing on his back. He'll be crippled by Christmas if he keeps this up. Not that this is anything to be proud of, but I've become quite the little scavenger. I've learned how to work a room and scrape together what I need. The key is to not ask the same person too many times in the same week. And you'd be shocked at how many pencils and pens can be found on the floors of a middle school. It's kind of sad, really. I try not to think about all the folks working crappy jobs in pencil factories all day long. Do they know what ultimately happens to like half of their work? Once you clean the dust and hair off of them, they work just fine. You might have to ignore a few bite marks sometimes, though. And when you reach down to pick one up, you just have to hope and pray that there aren't any boogers or other mystery crud on it. I used to ask my teachers for stuff, but I was sick of getting those frustrated looks, eye rolls, lectures, and embarrassing trips to the office. I'd rather look like some chronically irresponsible dweeb than admit that I can't keep up with stuff at home because with so many people coming in and out, things have a way of disappearing there. Plus, I lost count of the number of times we've been evicted and forced to leave a bunch of stuff behind. Doomsday Prepper gives this heavy sigh. Already? And hands over a couple sheets of paper. What to write. First of all, this assignment is so freaking cliche. I mean, is there some required teacher college course called Boring Crap to make your kids do every stinking year 101 or something? I do the same thing I do every year. I tell big, fat, whopping lies that make me not look like a total loser. According to my school papers, I've been to Disney World 4 times. I've visited my grandfather in Seattle and gone to the original Starbucks. I think that's where it is anyway. I've gone on a week long fishing trip with my uncle. I've been to a ton of MLB games, and I've spent time at a sleepaway camp in upstate New York. I don't know if anyone ever buys it or not, but at least it's better than admitting to the truth. This year, I choose to have simply spent my summer lounging at my aunt's pool. My real aunt jetted off to Arizona when I was a baby. I guess she got smart and realized what a mess her life would turn out to be if she stuck around here. Her name's Lacey, but I've never met her. The only time my mom talks to her is when she gets super desperate and gets the guts to call her up and beg her to send money. In reality, the closest I got to a pool this summer was fishing $5 out of the creek in my neighborhood. The creek is this smelly, trash filled little dribble of a thing. I had to dodge like 100 pieces of broken glass, but I managed to get my hands on it. All in all, that was a good day. I've still got the cash stashed inside the hole in the kitchen wall. I turn the paper in and enter stealth mode and somehow manage to fly under the radar for the rest of the day. I guess after repeating all the welcome to my class, now sit down and shut up. Here are the rules. Don't piss me off. They don't pay me enough to put up with a bunch of heathen monsters. If you don't do what I say, I'll give you detention and you better pass the state test or I'll lose my job. Blah, blah, blah. All morning long. The teachers are as exhausted as I am. We're all already losing that first day of school buzz and are beginning to have some serious summertime lazy hangovers. By the time the final bell rings, I'm flat, emotionally exhausted, pancake. Chapter 16. I don't think I can stand to ride the bus home today. My nerves are shot, and ugly me is out for blood. I don't know what it is. Middle school kids could be nodding off to sleep in class all day long, but the second they get on a school bus in the afternoon, They go absolutely insane. They act like screaming monkeys on crack. If I was a bus driver, I would drive off a cliff on day one. I know there aren't really any cliffs around here, but I would drive until I found one. It takes me about an hour to walk home from school, but I don't mind one bit. I'm never really in a hurry to actually get home. There's nothing for me there. As I walk along, my stomach growls like an angry bear. Feed me! I think back to lunch and all that headband girl crap and feel like kicking myself for letting her get to me like that. She got all in my head and scrambled things up. I was in such a hurry to leave the cafeteria that I totally forgot to go back and squirrel away some leftovers. I try to remember the last time mom came home with some groceries. I can't say for sure, but I think I remember seeing some extra ramen yesterday. I think it was the kind in the pink package. It's supposed to taste like shrimp or something. It really tastes like butt, but hey, girls gotta eat. My busted shoe flaps against the pavement as I trudge along. I almost trip like every 5 steps and keep getting little rocks and street crud down inside my holy sock. So, between the tripping and the constant gravel dumping and the going is super slow this afternoon. Priority one, find a way to fix my shoe because asking mom for a new pair is a hilariously bad idea. It really sucks, but it at least gives me something to think about. If my mind wanders too much, I know ugly me will want to obsess over a headband girl and Miss Odom and the other crap from today. I turn onto this little dingy alley like street that runs through Willow Landing, this old rundown apartment complex. This is the kind of place that most sane people avoid because it has this serious wrong part of town vibe. But I'm the poster child for the wrong part of town, so I feel right at home. I walk along all trip, dump for a while. The sun is angry, even for the second week of August, and I'm pretty sure I'm sweating in places I didn't even know I could sweat. Is it just me, or do those school board psychopaths make us start school earlier and earlier each year? I'm not sure what they're going for. If you ask me, locking all us crazy people in together during the heat of the summer is just asking for trouble. I can't think of many things more dangerous than a hot and sweaty gang of seventh grade hormonal head cases. Maybe we should strike or something. This street is usually pretty busy, what with the tons of folks like me wandering around these crappy buildings because they have nothing else to do. If I'm still wasting my life walking these streets in 10 years, I hope somebody just goes ahead and puts me out of my misery. I know there's a 99% chance I'll end up stuck here, shuffling around, all broke and damaged. But there's that other small part of me that hopes for something better. I look down at the ring that Emmeline gave me. I hold my hand up to the sun and look at the pinpricks of light. It's so cool how this little junky, plain looking thing holds so much beauty inside. I get lost again in the ring, thinking about the stars that I'll maybe, but probably not, get to ever see spread out above me in my dream future. I'm interrupted by a tiny noise behind me, and my stranger danger sense kicks in. I spin around, ready to either beat it fast or kick some ass, but all I see is a water bottle half filled with some mystery brown stuff lying in the filthy gutter. I shrug and walk on, but before I've taken a dozen steps, I hear it again. I whirl around again, and I swear I see a quick flash of movement slide around the corner of an old abandoned building and out of sight. I stand still and hold my breath, straining to hear the sound again. Nothing. And that's really freaky. Where the hell is everyone? I mean, I know it's hot out here, but is it really that hot? Has the sticky heat driven everyone inside today? I can almost always count on seeing at least a few dingy, half naked, barefoot toddlers and their chain smoking mamas running around here. Not even Carla, Willow Landing's resident porch sitting grandma, is out here today. Super odd. I listen. A distant siren cuts through the air, but there's no sign of the shuffle scrape noise I swear I heard before. It's probably nothing, but I feel chills creeping down my sweaty spine. I don't know. There's just something about the silent, abandoned street that totally gives me the feeling that something definitely isn't right. Standing here like a scared little doofus isn't going to help me out. So I decide to move my tail and leave this place behind. What with my messed up shoe, running probably isn't an option unless I want to scrape myself off of the hot pavement. So I start a pitiful little speed walk toward the main downtown drag. I usually avoid it because of the noise and stink from the zillion cars and trucks that can constantly zoom through. But I'd gladly trade that for the eerie quiet of this place. The apartment buildings lining both sides of the street stare at me with their silent windows and closed doors. They look like a bunch of scared, open mouthed faces. As I stumble along, my broken shoe fills up with gravel and gunk again. This time, I don't stop to dump it out. There's no way I'm spending an extra millisecond here among these silent watchers. I shiver and hug my bony arms tight across my chest. I'm about a football field away from the rumble of Main Street when I hear the noise again, louder this time. Shuffle scrape, shuffle scrape, shuffle scrape. Without stopping, I look over my shoulder. My blood runs cold.